Last time on Knights of the Rolled Table, Yenni, Igneous, Biscuit, Branch, and Diedre were summoned to a secret meeting of the Knights in Oakhart. There, they learned the details of the Platinum Syndicate and the Blood Pact. They were given a top-secret mission by Knights Elder Tendros to journey to the realm of Khall T'Vott to find out more about why this Dragonborn kingdom has gone silent. They mounted a series of escalatingly ridiculous animals, and also, Biscuit made a clone called Cookie. Who knows what dangers await as they begin the journey.
All right, so finally, guys, take flight, and luckily it's like kind of a nice and clear day, and you're able to take off from the wooded area here in Oakhart, and you ascend and begin flying right away. But because Bruce, the giant horn beetle, doesn't seem to get too much air, kind of has to be a little bit lower. And just like with the wind chill, you guys aren't ascending like terribly high in the air. You're maybe 40 or 50 feet above the tree line, so it's a pretty fast moving journey. It feels like it's going pretty fast, and after a while,
like about half of us take off majestically, and you hear the adventure music,
yeah,
and then we realize that Bruce the Beetle is like way down below us, and we all have to be like, hey, wait up, all right, hold on. We like go back down, and it's a totally different kind of music.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
yeah, exactly. So just kind of lots of tuba, and as you guys are going, eventually you're able to see you're able to see some coastline, and you're able to see some water, and you're approaching Pyron Bay, which is kind of the big gulf of water that's kind of between the two lands. And as was kind of described by the stable master before you guys left, recommended that you kind of hug the shore there and kind of continue up. So as you're going, you're just getting these splendid views of the ocean and the jungles as it kind of gets up to the Castorian coast, the jungles of Castor. As it starts to get closer to sundown, the sun's starting to set kind of over the ocean a little bit, and you guys got to kind of figure out a place to kind of hold up and make camp. So is there any specific thing you guys are looking for in terms of a campsite or a place to rest? Are you going to look for any sort of like town, or you going to like hope for any sort of village or anything like that?
What have we passed over major encampments or like different lands or anything like that?
As you were heading through Oakhart, there would be the occasional kind of village and hamlet, and then maybe like a bigger town that you would see. Since you kind of hit the coast and are heading up the jungle a little bit, it's been a lot more sparse. Like maybe you've kind of seen like a couple of small villages that are really tucked in to kind of the trees, but you haven't necessarily seen any kind of major settlements. Anybody bring a map?
Don't druids have some magic way of just like knowing the land?
How about this? If you want to try and find a very hospitable spot, you can roll a survival and see what comes up.
It was a 21 though.
Okay, super. You find the Holiday Inn Express right near the beach, and so kind of as you're going, Branch, you kind of are reading some of the trees, and you're kind of seeing some trails, and you actually kind of steer everybody inland a little bit, and sure enough, you kind of are able to see maybe more of like a kind of a medium-sized town, or like a small town or a village.
Do they have hitching posts for our mounts?
All right, you guys are able to kind of see a stable kind of out there, and there's a guy with like a little rake. He's like cleaning up, like putting horses away, and then like all of a sudden these winged beasts and a big bug kind of descend, and he goes, oh no, what? And he kind of like looks at you guys and like, what? Who are you guys? Have you come for harm?
My griffin landed on the roof.
Oh, I don't think it could be up there. Have you come to take over our village?
I'm gonna shadow step to like from the roof right behind that guy.
Oh,
Like,
Hey, where'd that
oh
go?
no, it'll be fine.
Ah!
He's happy up there. I'll throw him some rats later.
He goes, okay, all right.
Wait, you got any rats in the thatching up there? They're probably already up there. He might be able to help you out a little bit.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I guess we did have kind of an infection of some of the corn.
All right,
and stuff.
Sally Mae, go to town.
Sally Mae
Immediately,
starts.
the roof starts like shaking, and she's like picking holes and pulling rats out of like holes in the thatch roof.
He's like, oh no, oh gosh, oh my dad's gonna be really mad when he comes back.
No,
He's-
it's good. You won't get those out of there. It's gonna be great.
Oh, okay. So I guess you guys aren't here for evil.
Oh no. We're here strictly for good intentions and helpful things like killing your rats.
Okay. Are all these weird creatures gonna stay here?
Well, it's a stable, isn't it?
Yeah, but usually, like for horses, I mean, we don't usually take care of dragons and that thing. And points.
That is very specious of you.
Oh, that's all right. Cookie, my friend here, Cookie will take care of him. He kind of is made of a different kind of ilk, and he doesn't mind. He doesn't need to eat or anything, so he can just take care of him. Well, that's right. I don't mind hanging out outside with the beasties and the critters.
I'm sorry,
okay.
where are manners? What was your name, new friend that we've just met?
It's Jendaya.
Jendaya.
Yeah.
Well, pleasure to meet you. My name is Diedre, and these compatriots of mine. We're here. We're on just some sightseeing.
Sightseeing, really, here in the jungles of Castor.
Yeah, we saw you and we had to see what was going on.
Jendaya.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, do you know Balm Holland? he's a friend. He's a guy I know that my cousin used to know. Like, you know, his name's Balm. Never mind.
Okay. It sounds familiar. Yeah, I think we used to have a thing, but
He's a wiry
that's
little
way
guy.
back.
Just
Yeah, no,
likes to jump around a lot.
seems
Does his own
familiar.
stunts.
I can't place it exactly, but it's coming back
fine.
to me in some way. Yeah. All right, and you guys kind of settle up there, and you're in this small little village. Anything to do? Or you're just gonna call it a night?
What's that? Did we get the name of the village? Can we ask Jendaya where we are?
Oh yeah, this is the village of Hammertuck.
Hammertuck. Nice name.
Stop, Hematuck.
Can't stop here.
Don't stop here.
Jendaya, I realize that we've, shown up somewhat unannounced, but we do are happy to compensate you for your hospitality if you'll allow us to stable our mounts here, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do like 6 jade or something.
What's a
do
jade?
coin?
Yeah, jade. Yeah, like 6 jade coin.
What color is that?
Green.
Oh, here in Castor, I know about the conversion system. See, they use a different kind of. It's a little different, which is totally fine, and I think that's pretty great.
Oh, I forgot you guys are
we're
tourists.
from different parts of the realms where we use coins, not precious stones and gems. So
okay.
I think I might have a couple of gems. Let me check my bag here. Checks his bag.
Yeah, we kind of just do gems or Apple Pay. I mean,
Branch has an apple. You can have this.
I got a couple of I got a couple of onyxes, and I got what's this periodot?
He takes it and he goes, "Whoa, oh yeah, yeah, definitely. This will cover. Yeah, this will cover it for sure."
Lovely. While we're here, perhaps you could let us know just a little bit about the town. Anything you would recommend? What's going on? What's the tea?
Boy, I mean, not a whole lot to stray you from your main quest, I'm sure, but we have
Of
problems with
sightseeing.
I'm sure we could find something.
oh, okay, great. There's a bunch of rats in the basement of the motel.
Oh, guys, we gotta stay on track. We don't
We
have
should
time to dilly-dally.
investigate that.
There's a wizard out in the country who's causing trouble.
Oh.
I was more curious if there was anywhere you might recommend for us to procure some provisions, perhaps to rest for the evening.
Oh
Or
yeah,
can we
head on
rest
down
here at
to.
your stable.
You're welcome to stay in the hay, but yeah, I mean, there's a tavern up the way, Jerry's place.
Is it called Jerry's place? Like that's the sign, or it's just Jerry's place?
I mean, there's not really a sign. It's just you go up to Jerry's house and then he'll let you stay.
Is literally a house though? Whether there's a guy named Jerry inside, or is it like a business?
Ooh, how kitsch.
Yeah, I mean, it's where Jerry lives, but also you can stay there.
Okay, this is a small town then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is Jerry a man or a lady? I know Lady Jerry's.
A lady, Lady Jerry.
Mm.
Yeah. So are you guys here to like? I don't understand. You're passing by, or because you wouldn't be here to see the waterfall or something, would you?
Oh, there's a waterfall. Branch would like to see the waterfall.
Well, we are sightseeing.
Are there fish?
No.
Is there any? Is there a story that goes along with this waterfall? What makes it so
Yeah.
special?
Is it Jerry's waterfall?
Well, no. Jerry has a different waterfall at the other end of town. This is everybody's
Yeah.
waterfall at the top of town.
All right, I'm sold. Let's all meet Jerry.
We go to there.
Jerry.
Okay, so you kind of leave. You go out around the stable, and there's just kind of like a muddy kind
Several
of
houses
path.
that look identical.
Yeah,
Which
you kind of go
which
down.
one looks
and
like
it's
Jerry's?
You
This
kind
is
of go down.
HOA.
There doesn't seem to be. There's like a house with like a wagon in the front yard. You go down a little bit. There's like a yard with like a bunch of dogs yapping in one of them. And you kind of come to like maybe a house that's kind of on a corner. And it looks like it's pretty big. It's like a 2-story house.
All right, Biscuit, you're colloquial. Why don't you go ahead, give it a knock, and say hello?
Oh, all right. Biscuit walks up and then he uses mage hand cantrip to knock on the door before he gets there. He's just gonna like kind of like project a hand and be like, walks up.
The door opens up really quick, and it just opens this far. And you see the face of a dwarven woman comes and goes, yeah, what do you need?
We're looking for a Jerry.
Oh, who are you?
Oh, we're just traveling educators going up the coast. We were sent here by Jendaya. Said Jerry might be here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then she opens the door a little more. It's like, yeah, I'm Jerry.
Oh, hi.
Hey. So you just want a place to crash?
Yeah. We just need a place to set a spell. You know, we got our we have some beasts of burden kind of hanging out back a couple houses down, and we just need a place to stay. I mean, we could go in the jungle, but you know it's a little dangerous sometimes.
She says, yeah, you don't want to go in the jungle. There's pythons out there and ocelots.
Pythons? Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I know a python.
Yeah, big ones, 40-foot ones. So you don't want to be out there.
Oh.
If you guys want to stay, it'll be 10 onyx.
I used up all my precious gemstones. You guys have any gemstones?
Branch has an idea. I'm gonna walk up to her and I'm gonna pull out the dwarven thrower that I've been carrying around forever, since she's a dwarf, and say, "We do not have that, but I have this that you could have in exchange if you will let us stay here tonight."
She takes it and she looks at it and she goes, "Oh my gosh, wow, what a device. It's beautiful. Dwarven made. Oh, I haven't seen this in such a long time. Oh, wow. She says, yeah, come in, come in. And she's super excited. She comes over and it just looks like a person's house. There's just like some couches and like some chairs and like a table. And she kind of goes over, she clears space off of the mantle. She like pulls away a whole bunch of like little candles and things. And she sets the dwarven thrower up on top, and she goes, "Oh wow, this is great."
So,
all right, well,
so Jerry,
yeah,
this isn't a hotel or a tavern or an inn of some sort. This is just your house.
that's Jerry's place.
Oh, that's the name of that's the name of the inn.
Yes, I feel like they've been very, very transparent about that, Biscuit.
No, I'm Jerry.
Sort of a VRBO situation.
Ah, okay, great.
Yeah,
Hope
so
we don't have to wash the sheets.
no, I would never wash the sheets. So
Oh,
just enjoy. Take a sleep anywhere you want. And she kind of like gets in like a chair and kind of leans back and goes, "Yeah, well, have a good night," and like just instantly like
all right.
falls asleep.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can cook us up some food in the kitchen.
That seems fair since we dramatically overpaid for our night's stay.
Branch was tired of carrying
I'll
that.
rustle up some grub, and since we've traveled a while, and see if we can, make a little meal out of it.
I feel like I've had new experiences as far as roughing it, but somehow this seems worse. How is this worse? We literally camp, and yet somehow this is worse.
Oh, Diedre, I forgot to tell you, I learned some new things. Hold on, everybody. And he, Biscuit kind of turns around and he goes, okay, doobly-doo. And he kind of smacks his hands together, and a little dome that kind of looks like an onion with a little onion frills at the top appears, and with a little shimmer of like poof, and it has a tiny door that's about as big as Biscuit is right in front of him. He said, entrez-vous. You can come on in. It's bigger on the inside. So he walks through the door.
Yeah, Diedre is very skeptical as she enters this thing.
So as you enter, it opens up into it's like a 10-foot radius dome that has sprung into existence. This is a spell called Tiny Hut. So it can fit 9 creatures. So and it's furnished with like just kind of some basic stuff, but there are some bedrolls, and there's some little quaint little lights, like the equivalent of little fairy lights, and like some thatched sort of padding, and there's a little drawing of a Biscuit and his like 4 brothers and sisters, and it's just like this little homey kind of granny flat sort of thing.
Branch, while still eating as a goat, telepathically says, could we not have just done that outside and not paid for a house that is not much bigger than this?
Well, I didn't want to be rude.
Eh.
Hey, when somebody offers you their house, you got to stay in it. But, there's no rules against staying inside a house.
You're a strange little man, Biscuit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so everybody goes inside the house, inside Jerry's place, and you settle in for the night. Well, you have a terrific night listening to Jerry snore, and the dawn comes.
I'm gonna see if I can find us some breakfast. I'll also check on Cookie and make sure he's okay with the animals.
All right, yeah, you go check in on the animals. Cookie was standing out there the whole time, and the no sign of Jediah quite yet. It's still pretty early. Yeah.
How was the nighttime, Cookie? Oh yeah, everybody was quite fine. They were nuzzled up, snug in their beds in the hay, and I just kind of nuzzled up next to the dragon. We were chatting until the early morning light.
Oh yeah, he's such a good talker. Oh boy, I love talking to Cookie. He's got so many experiences that are so rich. I was telling him the other day, I saw this really funny thing as I was going by, and my friend
She has so much
Tara,
to say.
she
It's amazing. Oh, mama.
Hey, Cookie, did you feed the mounts?
Well, I fed them what there was. There wasn't much. There was a little bit of hay.
Bruce has been slowly kind of like going through the stables. Like, there's kind of, in a horse stable, there's kind of like those places, like those mud patches, has gone over and like sucked up all the like muddy, gross, disgusting manure water. And like, it's all nice and clean, fresh dirt now.
All
So
right.
I think Bruce is doing okay. So they're doing okay.
Igneous more or less like walks up a post up onto the roof, check on Sally Mae, who has eaten well with rats, but the roof is like trashed. It's just
Yes.
torn up all over the place. So he proceeds to cast Mending repeatedly until it's looking decent again.
All right, you do so, and it takes a few goes, but a little bit of putting stuff in, and it looks like it's back to normal.
It's like trying to fix somebody's unruly hair, like it's not going.
Yeah, you kind of,
way.
just kind of getting it to lay, using a little spit, a little shine in here and there, but it's looking pretty good, and it seems like most of the rats are gone.
Good job, Sally.
All right, so the mounts are ready, and they're feeling good.
Let's go to the waterfall.
You gonna go to the waterfall?
We gotta find out what this waterfall's all about, y'all.
Well, we could cruise over on our way out, probably.
Yes, pass by it en route and just see. It was very odd that innkeep made such a point of asking if we were headed there. If it is of note, I think we should at least lay eyes on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there are
maybe
no
it's loot.
fish or frogs in it, so what is the point?
Loot, hidden loot.
Jediah comes back kind of towards the stables and like sees you guys there. He's kind of like waking up, and he's got some hay that he's kind of got on a little wagon or wheelbarrow, and he goes, "Oh, hey guys, have a great night at Jerry's place."
Oh yeah, it was very pleasant. A couple of us were wondering if there's anything but at this waterfall that might be worth seeing, or if it's just a waterfall in all its beauty, which is perfectly fine. But is there anything dangerous there?
Yeah, fess up.
Boy, it's not much, but it's we like it. We like to go there and swim and jump off it and have a good time in the summer. But I mean, it's the only notable thing in town.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I get a vibe check on the stable hand?
Sure.
Sounds like some
do
sort
I
of a
feel,
cult.
Yeah, do I feel like there's anything like odd in the way that he's talking about this waterfall?
Go ahead and roll a perception or insight.
That's a 13.
13. You think that you're not really sure, but you think like maybe Jediah has like tried to like make the waterfall like a thing that everybody like likes, but like most of the people like aren't really about it, and like he's kind of embarrassed that like it hasn't really taken off, but like he kind of still wants it to be a thing. And you don't know, maybe he's tried to start a business there and it failed, or give tours of some sort.
He has like a little donation box out front.
Yeah, you're not really sure. Maybe he tried to partition it to be a national park and it got rejected or something. You're not really sure. You don't get any nefarious or anything like that.
Guys,
Well, now we
I think
gotta
this
go
guy
see it.
might. I think this guy might be a loser.
Yeah, what did he lose? Do we need to help him find it?
Well, thanks, Jediah. We're gonna head out, and then you have a great time. Be a great day, and we're gonna head on out and go to our mission. I mean, our college bound mission.
Good luck, truly. I hope that it gets better.
Oh, thanks. Do you want some postcards?
No.
Nah.
Okay,
Sounds
great.
Yes.
I feel 500 postcards. Never gonna get rid of.
Branch
All
will
the
take
All right, well,
Waterfall.
goodbye.
Bye.
I wanted to know what it
loser.
was. It's just like a stick.
No, it's a
Nothing in this
postcard,
one.
but it's of the waterfall. And he kind of gives one. He gives one to you guys. He's like, "Well, just take it." And you see that it's a picture, and it's Jendaya standing next to the waterfall, but the waterfall is only up at his shoulders and then going down to his feet. Like it's just the tiniest little waterfall. It's more like just coming off a ledge. But he's super excited in the picture like this.
I'm feeling a lot less interested in this waterfall now, guys.
And no wonder there are no fish or frogs.
No, not since the hag cursed us. Anyway, goodbye.
Wait, what? Wait,
Bye.
Truly, we will never forget the town of. Nah, I don't care.
Hello, listeners of the Roll Table. This is Jeff, your DM for part 1 of season 7. And boy, we are back into it, and it is going awesome. We just recorded a live Knights of the Roll Table event here in San Diego at the Comic-Con Museum in Balboa Park last night as of me recording this. And they hosted a Dungeons & Dragons nights where hundreds of players came and played with dozens of DMs. We did a special one-shot with an awesome volunteer at the museum. And thanks to all the volunteers and staff at the Comic-Con Museum, we had an absolute blast. We recorded everything we did, and that episode will be dropping in the very near future. Speaking of Comic-Con, we will, for the first time ever, be doing a live episode of our Knights of the Roll Table podcast at Comic-Con. That's right. We can't tell you any details right now, but be on the lookout in your Comic-Con programs. We'll give you more updates and info as we get closer to the con. We can't wait to see you there. The best way to support us is to leave that rating and review on whatever podcast app you're listening to right now. Drop that line, give that review, put it in there. It does help. You can visit our Instagram at Rolled Table and join us on our Discord server where you can have discussions with the fans of the show, with us. You can ask questions, see art, search for Knights of the Rolled Table on Discord, or click the link in the show notes. Some of the combat music featured in this episode was created by Weston Gardner, and you can find him on his Patreon, Arcane Anthems. All the art for our characters and maps are illustrated by our very own Chris Daly, who also has a Patreon called Dungeon Heads. There, you can select from an ever-growing gallery of character art and download it for free. Check out Dungeon Heads on Patreon or follow his art at Dungeon Heads on Twitter and Instagram. You can also catch Chris on the podcast Comic Book Keepers. If you have any feedback or questions or want to put an ad in the show, contact us, knightsoftherolltable@gmail.com. We'd also love to bring Knights of the Roll Table to more live settings and bring it on the road. If you're a venue or comic book shop who can host a show, we'd love to talk. We want to get out there. knightsoftherolltable@gmail.com. We know we're not the only D&D actual play podcast out there, so we really, honestly, truly thank you so much for listening and being a fan of the show and giving us a chance. Now, go out and make life an adventure. All right, so you get going, I hope, because I don't want to make up any more about this. All right, so you start taking off, and you just, it's kind of a fun, quirky little vacation energy you've had going through small towns, and you kind of, as you guys are going, you maybe take a pit stop here and there, and you kind of talk about talk about it in the way that, oh gosh, remember that, oh, could you believe this? And so you're kind of having that, and you're continuing to fly over the water and kind of onto the land, and slowly the jungle kind of gives way to a little more sparse environment, and it starts to maybe seems like it's getting a little drier. And you're kind of coming up to the coast starts to get a lot more cliffy, and it starts to get a lot more rocky, and it begins to kind of move up a little bit. And based on kind of the maps and the survival or the directions that you kind of had before, you kind of know it's time to start heading inland. And sure enough, you're slowly kind of increasing elevation as you guys are going. And after a while, you see that there's just a huge, enormous valley that kind of opens up. And it's kind of like when we're coming down and, when you drop down from the Grapevine into the Central Valley, if you're driving up the 5, and you just see like the massive opening of the Central Valley there, and it just seems to be immense in size. That's kind of the environment that kind of opens up in front of you guys. And the surrounding mountains are cleared out, and it's less that thick jungle vegetation, and it's much more sparse as it goes here. As you guys are looking out in the very middle, you see that there's kind of this giant mesa that juts out from the middle of this valley area. And up on top, you see, as you guys are kind of coming closer to it, you see that there's almost a city that's built into it, that's built up on top. And the surrounding area, as you guys are starting to get close to it, one thing that you're kind of noticing is that the trees that you're kind of looking at all seem to be, kind of brown. And as you guys are coming up over puddles of, or lakes and rivers, you're not really sure if it's just the kind of color of the sunlight or the reflection, but they all seem to be kind of a little more darker and murkier than before. And as you guys
would like to investigate that.
Okay, roll
nature
roll a
I guess.
Yeah, roll a nature check. If you're just gonna observe as you guys are kind of going.
Yeah.
You said the city was embedded in a mountain?
It looks like, as you're kind of looking at it, it kind of looks like there's this like mesa, this kind of flat top that comes up, and up on top is like a walled city.
Okay.
You're just kind of seeing the wall, still pretty far away from you guys at this point.
It's a 15. Nature.
15. So, as Branches, you're kind of noticing too, it seems like this area is getting like a little, like the weather is kind of changing, but in a way you don't really expect. You're getting kind of away from the jungle and the forest, so you're kind of expecting it's going to be drier, maybe colder, maybe hotter, but it starts to feel like it's like dewy and damp and like sticky out, like almost sweltering. But there's not like the jungle environment that you're kind of looking at. And when you're looking down at these, you're still pretty far, but looking at the trees and the water that's here, it's kind of reminding you of like when blight or like in parts of a forest that get a disease or something, like they will tend to kind of have this discoloration, or if there's like a natural magma spring that kind of comes up, it'll tend to kill off vegetation. It's kind of giving you that kind of a feeling as you're kind of looking at that. It's what it's reminding you of.
Guys, the trees, and of course we're flying, so it's just like wind. The guy.
I'll say you're going slow enough. You can communicate. You can kind of get.
I got my
closer.
telepathy. I could just do that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry to be in your head. This is Branch. Hello. The trees do not look healthy down there. There might be something wrong in this place.
Yeah, I noticed that they're looking pretty dilapidated. Is that something we should look into, or we're just gonna
maybe it could just be something natural, like a bark beetle or something that is killing them, but it is probably something worse, given how things always go for us.
Something
Can
to
we
take
try
note of.
to? Can we try to suss out if it's some sort of magical manifestation, or if it seems to be coming from nature itself?
We'd probably have to get closer, is what Branch thinks.
Are we in Khall T'Vott at this point?
You think you're in the like realm of it, but Khall T'Vott is kind of it's kind of the city, is the name of like the city, castle, keep, and the realm.
And the realm.
Yeah. So you're definitely kind of within the realm of it, just because of that big change in the elevation and like the big valley. That's what it's kind of known as. Some people call it like Valley of the Dragonborn, Valley of Dragons. That's kind of a thing like you might have heard it referred to as before, but Khall T'Vott specifically is both the city and the realm. As you guys are going, everybody go ahead and roll perception as we're getting closer now. You're within a few miles now of the city.
16.
19.
9.
9.
15.
All right, so 15, 16, and 19, that's Yenni, Diedre, and Igneous. As you guys are kind of coming along here, there's not a whole lot of signs of life that you guys are seeing, but you're seeing like these kind of like shimmering, almost like water. You're not really sure, some kind of reflective, little like green and black and brown little things that, maybe they're like kind of water. You're not really 100% sure, but you kind of see like there's kind of these little moving things in there, but you're kind of far away, so you can't really tell what it is, but you're kind of getting this, you're kind of seeing that like, oh, there's like a whole bunch of these little things all around. So you guys keep heading closer, and you see the walls of the city now, and where you might have seen, as you've come up, you might see like banners and you might see activity. As you guys approach, you really see that a lot of the wall seems to be kind of damaged or worn away, and as you gain some elevation to get above the mesa to kind of get a better look, you see that a lot of the city around is kind of empty. So there is kind of this walled city up on top of the mesa, and you can kind of see like how this would be really great strategically, because all around on this mesa, it maybe goes up 100 feet of near sheer cliff to where the kind of walled part of this city kind of begins, and it's a larger city that looks like it's was pretty dense. Towards the bottom of the diagram that you're kind of looking at, there's a second higher wall inside, and that kind of appears to be like the castle or like the main grounds, and then the rest of it is kind of this walled city throughout it. And as you guys are looking down in on it, you can kind of see the like order and the grid of it all, but as you're looking, you don't see any sign of movement or people or fires burning or anything. And there's kind of this like haze that's over you now, and the sun is kind of being like blocked out a little bit, kind of almost not smoky really, but just kind of like this thick hazy thing that is going on. And as you guys get closer, it looks like the city has been like under attack. These kind of like black marks all over, and stuff's kind of knocked over, but as you get closer to it, you begin to see that it's not ash, but it's just these kind of like long strands of some weird black material. I want everybody to roll a Constitution save.
Uh-oh.
15.
Oh, 19.
10.
5.
Oh, at least I got a strong constitution. 12.
All right, so as you guys kind of start to get a little closer here, all at once, and the animals that you guys are riding kind of start to bray and bristle a little bit as they're coming down, and it all hits you at once. This smell of like rotted flesh, this disgusting kind of putrid, like a little bit like a vomit smell. It's really acidic and just turns up your stomach. And in fact, Diedre, this hits you almost immediately, and you gag and choke and spew a little bit, and like it gets you off balance. And for the next 5 minutes, you're gonna get a -1 to checks and saves. It's so overwhelming; it just like hits you like you have the flu, like you have a stomach flu.
Oof, darlings, that was pungent. I might not be okay.
I think we should get a little lower, maybe on the outside walls, so we can get out of the smell, and maybe we can proceed on foot or find maybe what's going on. Something ain't right here, y'all.
Yeah, PU.
As you guys are continuing that descent, as you look into the inner walled castle within the city, you can actually see that there's bigger blocks above the wall of stone that are kind of put up, and these pieces of metal kind of put in front, and it almost looks like it's been kind of built up around it a little bit. And you see that there's these black tendrils that are on it as well, but they don't go all the way up. And inside of there, you do see a little bit of smoke kind of coming out from inside that courtyard. And as you're looking as well, you kind of see like some kind of form, some kind of person kind of looking over the wall at the very top a little bit at you. There's a tall tower that also comes up from that castle area that doesn't look damaged because it's fully within the wall. And you see that there is kind of light within there, and there's kind of, that doesn't look like it has been besieged or damaged in any way there.
We should go that way.
All right. If somebody could perhaps, perhaps just walk with me.
I've got you, Dee Dee.
As you guys, so Diedre, you're just hanging on to the front of the Pegasus there, and
am I throwing up? That's the real question.
I mean, yeah, it when it first hit you, it really got you. So
I have vomited.
This is a level 10 emergency. I have spewed. All right, so you guys
breathe a word of this, and I will murder you all while you sleep.
Hey, Kathy, the chatty brass dragon, can you drop Cookie and I off on that tall tower there? Can you swoop down and we can just hop on off?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh man, this is a terrible smelling place. I've never smelled anything as bad. Well, there's this one time I was over at the I was over with my friend Harold's place, and man,
I know this reminds me of going out back and seeing the swamp water when it rises up tide a little bit, and and like,
oh boy, yeah,
in springtime,
boy, the swamps, and yeah. And all right, so you guys continue going, and as you head over the kind of inner walled castle area, you see within there's several Dragonborn people, and they're all kind of looking up at you, and they're kind of pointing, and they're like, a few of them are waving. Some of them have like some spears that they're kind of holding, but as you're looking, they don't really appear to be like soldiers or guards or anything, just kind of a bunch of Dragonborn people. So do you want to continue into there?
They're on the tower?
They're kind of in the tower, but inside the courtyard area of that inner castle. Yeah.
If we can fly in there, if we can fly inside the inner courtyard, we'll do that.
Yeah. It's pretty big. I mean, it's maybe the size of, like a baseball field in that courtyard area. And there's, typical courtyard stuff, supplies and structures and things like that.
Right.
Inside of there.
We'll fly down into that, and then assuming everybody wants to follow.
Hold on, Igneous is going to do some things. So a little bit light base. Is there enough kind of shadows to creep between, or is it like bright sun where we are?
It's daylight, but there's not like bright sun, and there is like it is kind of shadowy and gloomy around here.
All right, so he's going to actually have Sally Mae swoop down somewhere where you can just be in a shadow for a minute, and then use Cloak of Shadows to make himself invisible.
Okay.
Which he can do, as long as he doesn't go into bright light. And then have Sally Mae kind of like take him back up somewhere where he can hop off and just sort of like cruise in the shadows. So just like he's just gonna like lurk invisibly, as close to the Dragonborn as he can get while everybody else approaches.
Are you intending to get within the courtyard area, inside the walled inner courtyard?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this. Go ahead and roll a stealth check to see if anybody sees you doing those actions.
Might be more stealth for the Griffin, but I don't want to figure that out. 20.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So kind of with your animal handling and your kind of like understanding of like blending in and like making it look natural, you kind of find a way to kind of, maybe there's a 2-story building that you kind of have Sally Mae kind of go down and around, and you time it out perfectly so that that's kind of your time when you're turn invisible, and then you have Sally Mae just kind of expertly have them join the back of the pack as everybody's coming down and kind of stay to the side. So all of you guys are able to land and in this little courtyard, and Sally Mae's maybe a little more towards the north side of the structure there. And as you guys do, all these Dragonborn people kind of come towards you, and first thing you notice is that it's a real mix of like women, children, some older people, some adults, but one thing you notice is like they're not wearing armor, they're not ready for battle or anything really. A couple of them maybe have like a random helmet on, but what kind of strikes you right away is that these people are in kind of desperate times, and as they kind of approach you, they're pretty scared and unsure, but they're kind of looking at you guys and trying to suss you out. And you notice like they're pretty like emaciated, like doesn't look like they've eaten in a little while. They're all pretty thin. Some little kids like kind of come up to you guys and like first and are like, oh, did you come to save us? Are you here to help us? Do you have any food? Do you have any water? Do you have something for us?
Well, we did come to save you. We're special friends of the realms, and we didn't know what was happening here, but obviously something's
have candy?
Well,
sweets or bread?
Branch is going to cast Goodberry and hand him 10 berries and say, pass these, have one and pass them to your friends and family.
Wait, I'll do what I did before, and I'll cast Enlarge.
To make them watermelons?
Yes.
Good watermelons.
All right, so
doubles in size in all dimensions. Weight is multiplied by 8.
Yeah, so they go from like grapes to like little apples. So big thing of apples. And the Dragonborn little boy that you kind of gave that to, he kind of like, oh my gosh, and like starts kind of eating one, and then like several other kids like immediately kind of crowd on over, and they're kind of like hold on, no, give it, hold, you have one, okay, oh, hold on, no, I gotta give one to you, okay, I'm gonna take one to my brother, and it kind of like has some stuff, and then finally
I got some hardtack, I got some jerky, and
finally a voice says, hail there, I'm Clan Rock, I am warden of this keep.
Hello, yes, we're new here, but it looks like you perhaps could use some support. What's going on here? It seems like these people have vanished.
Are you from Marcasia? Are you here to aid us?
We're not from Marcasia. We actually traveled from Oakhart. We're members of a friendly organization of the realms.
Oh, then there's just the 5 of you.
Yes, but we're very formidable.
There's 6 though, right? Because Cookie's
Cookie.
there.
Except
yes,
Igneous is invisible, so 5 is correct.
Oh,
it would be 5.
5 of you. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's 6 of us. Iggy, where are you? You can come on out. Quit being sneaky.
Iggy pops up right behind. He appears right next to Clan Rock, and says hello in Dragonborn because he can also do that.
Oh, and he kind of shocked, and he says in Dragonborn back to you, hailing and good day. And he says to the rest in Dragonborn, do you all speak the language?
What is he saying?
Do I speak
No,
dragon?
I think that's just me. It's a monk thing.
Of course it is.
I'm trying to see. I know I speak some other languages, but
I speak Common and Goblin, and that's it.
oh, I speak Draconic. Yeah, Biscuit speaks Draconic. Biscuit will say in Draconic, but still with an accent. Yes, well, some of us do, but not everybody. So it sounds like
And he reciprocates, I appreciate you trying the tongue. We've been held up in here for almost 6 months, and we can't step outside. The oozes and the slimes are out there, and they'll find a way to get through our defenses every once in a while, and we're just waiting them out at this point.
we had no idea that you were in trouble. But we were sent here to find out what was going on. Have you tried reaching out, sending correspondence at all?
Oh, we don't. He looks around and he looks at everybody that's there, and he says, "We're out of people to send.
Well, anybody that you have sent might not have made it.
We can't move fast enough. We can't get far enough away from them."
Where did they come from? When did this? You said 6 months. But what happened?
Oh, we don't know. Just a little bit before that, a farmer in town had mentioned that his livestock was being attacked by these oozes, and the king. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe them. They're like puddles of goo.
Ugh.
And they move and climb, and they can squeeze through narrow holes, and they burn away our wood and metal, and for some reason the stone here is stopping them. They can't seem to get through the granite of our walls.
That's good. Back home, we call them snot weevils. Yeah, they're real nasty.
Boy, I these are something else. These aren't anything natural that we've ever seen. And
What happened to the armies? Y'all have huge Dragonborn armies.
well, after the initial discovery of them, our king and queen went to go investigate. All of them got killed except for the queen and one survivor.
Wow.
And we tried to mount the defense against them, and we met them in the fields, but they completely overwhelmed all of us. We've all lost someone. Most everyone we've lost. Anybody that's tried to fight them head on has been completely obliterated.
I'm so sorry, Clan Rock. That's heartbreaking and terrible to hear. Well, I know there's only a few of us, but we are more formidable than we look, and I guess it's safe to say, because there's so few of you, and we're members of the Knights of the Realm.
He goes, oh, thank goodness.
Apparently, we're just advertising that now.
Well, I think come on, Diedre. It's time. These people have been through a lot. We got to give them a little hope.
All right. Well, no matter what, we're going to do what we can for you, but I just...
We're all members of Knights of the Realm. That thing's not pointing at Cookie. She may or may not be. How's that?
If you're here to help us, we will take any aid that you have. We just can't disobey our queen.
Well, where's your queen now?
She's in the tower. She's the sole occupant. She's been so distraught since our king died. She's held up. She won't let anybody tend to her or help her. But she's made it clear that
see her?
I don't think she would like that.
Who was the one survivor with the queen?
Oh, that was a Tholok, and he's down in the caves.
Ooh, the caves. The caves.
No, the caves are safe. That's where everybody else is. There's maybe 1,000 of us left.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, can we go talk to Tholok?
Yeah, you can talk to Tholok.
Y'all know what's going on in the rest of the realms. I mean, before the 6 months, I mean, the turmoil and everything, and all the elites and the.
I'll be honest. I'm the warden by default. I didn't work for the royal court or anything. I mean, we all kind of knew that there was stuff happening out in the greater world, but we just do our trading with Marcatia. We stick to ourselves here, and I mean, we knew it was bad. Is this related to that? Is this what it's like everywhere?
Well, I mean, in a way, I mean, there's bad stuff happening everywhere, so I wouldn't be surprised if whatever's going on here might be tied into stuff that's going on everywhere. It's getting worse.
I can't imagine the whole world being like this. This is terrible. And knights are of course friends of the T'Vott. So we're glad to have you here.
I think if you can direct us to where this Tholok is, that might be the best thing. We'll talk
sure. Yeah, I'll take you down there. And
real quick before we do that, would I, being a Woodbranch, being a creature of nature and a druid, would I know anything about oozes and slimes and whatnot, and what if this is normal behaviors?
Roll knowledge nature, or
Can you eat them? Can you drink them?
you can. I think you can once.
25 nature.
I feel like more of like, where do they come from, and specifically like, are they
Where do they go?
fey in nature or underground or something like that?
In your experience with these types of creatures, like generally, like they're all kind of described as like they're categorized as oozes, and oozes tend to be kind of one-off creatures. They don't usually have colonies, or they don't gather. They don't really follow any sort of like structure. They're very just kind of they just kind of exist through the world. So this type of thing where there's like multiple of them kind of working together is pretty strange. That some more advanced ooblexes and larger oozes and slimes actually do have some sentience and will will do things like manipulate, will copy memories of things that they encapsulate. Some of them can even emulate other creatures that they've absorbed in order to try and lure more of the same creature into it. So if they were to devour a deer, they might be able to constitute a portion of themselves to look like a deer, to attract other deer to come in so that they can devour it. So that like they're this like devouring aspect of it isn't unusual. The fact that they're like mindlessly coming and trying to devour everything in their path is not unusual, but certainly the unusual nature of there being like a lot of them, or like a coordinated thing where they're happening at the same time, is pretty unusual, as well as the other effects that you're kind of seeing in terms of the the environment and kind of piecing all of these things together. You think an ooze on its own wouldn't be able to do this, but yes, if there was hundreds or thousands of them, like yes, they would cause these kind of masses of putrefaction and decay. And so like maybe that's accounting for like the environmental change in this area.
But still weird that there's so many gathered together in the first place.
Right. This would be in observed in observations from people, this would be extremely rarely observed.
I will say, it is really weird that there are so many together. That is not the way oozes like to behave.
Was there other parts of what you were looking for, knowledge-wise?
That was pretty much it. I don't know anything about it. I was mostly curious for me.
But you got a
Grant
25, so like the doors are open.
And then, so I'll say that part out loud, like just like it's weird that they're here. But then telepathically, I'll say to our group, we should be careful because some smart oozes, they like to pretend to be peoples and humans and animals, and also it is really weird that there are so be careful.
Is anybody else getting a little bit of a weird vibe about the fact that this queen has somehow holed herself up alone in a castle? Like, I'm just saying, my little radar is tingling a little bit at that. Maybe, Igneous, perhaps you could do some of that spy thing that you did. Get into that castle and get some eyes on her, see if there's something weird going on there. I've got a tingle.
I mean, I probably could. I'm not super jazzed up about climbing a tower to spy on a royal lady. In the notion that she is actually just up there in great trauma and mourning. But maybe...
Fine, if you don't want to do it, I'll do it by myself.
Well, I can go up there and I can be invisible.
Why don't we just start down in the caves and then head up there?
Yeah, I think we should start with the caves
Right.
first. I mean, before we start spying on
I'm
queen
just
ladies.
saying I want to add it to the to-do list because, like
Alright.
I said,
I
I
would
have
agree with-
a tingle.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a little bit weird, but I mean, but Igneous is also right. So I kind of agree with both of you. I agree with both of you equally, actually. So I mean, it's an equal opportunity agreement.
Emotions are fine, but when one has a duty, one must follow through on it.
Well, you should follow through with a duty anytime you have emotion. That's what my grandma always said.
Anyway.
So, you head...
I was trying not to make the joke, but you said it in a much funnier way than I would have, so.
Our grossest season yet. You as you kind of enter this kind of entryway, kind of this building, it kind of opens up and it has these stairs that go down, and the finished walls kind of give way to like open cavern, and it is torch lit all the way down. And as you guys are going down, you continue to see more of these Dragonborn like refugees, these people that are living through this siege, and they're shuffling about. They're trying to like fix and repair things. You see barrels and crates that are empty, that have been opened, and they're just kind of piled up in some places. You're kind of seeing like different types of materials kind of rustled together, like they're just kind of trying to throw together the things that they can find and the things that they have. And as you kind of descend into these caves, you go past an area where there's kind of this big cavern that opens up, and on the inside of it, you see, in contrast to everything that you've seen so far, you kind of see this clean marble, almost tiled area all the way around, and you see that it's very bright in there, and in the very center, you kind of see this almost looks like a nest that's kind of made with big sticks and logs, and in it are these big round, they look like eggs, but instead of like a chicken's egg with like that eggshell texture on it, they almost look they kind of look metallic, and they are green and a little bit shiny, and they almost look like they're kind of almost like angular, like they're kind of like they have flat sides. They're very geometric, and there's 3 of them sitting in there. And
how big are they?
They look to be maybe about the size of like a beach ball, okay, in size. And there's 3 of them sitting in there, and there's several Dragonborn that do appear to be kind of even though they're a little maybe a little tattered, they have these kind of these finer like robes and vestments on, and they're tending to these round things that are in there, and there's some that are moving some of the branches away. There's some that are bringing burlap over, and it kind of seems, in contrast to everything you've seen, like there's still something kind of happening over in this area. And Clan Rock, as you kind of go past it, he says, "Oh, there's that's our the emerald clutch of eggs that we tend to here. But down this way, we'll go to where everybody else is, and you'll be able to talk to. Did I say Turlock?
Yeah.
Tholok.
Tholok.
Oh, Tholok.
Does the
Tholok.
clutch of eggs, not to sound culturally insensitive, but does that seem pretty normal for a Dragonborn? Like that's a Dragonborn-y kind of thing? Or is that like a potential oozy thing? I mean, it seems like they're not hiding it, so I'm guessing it's pretty natural.
Roll a history.
History, let's see, that's a 8. I rolled a 3.
8 history. You know that when you've read about the ancient Dragonborn kingdoms, that a lot of them had really closer connections to dragons, and were like much more in tune to like raising dragons and like being like kin with them, and this was like in the time like before elves and dwarves and humans, like the major kingdoms and realms of them really flourished. And so like it's uncommon now because like there aren't Dragonborn realms except for this one. But you think that kind of knowing that kind of deeper history, that it's like, oh, this is how old school these guys are. They're still like tending.
They're very
dragon
traditionally
eggs.
raising these eggs, and
Yeah.
And so I would say Biscuit probably doesn't remember all the details, so he just kind of says, "Hey, Clan Rock, y'all are raising? Are those real, like actual dragons that y'all are raising and with those eggs?"
And he goes, "Yes, of course. They're the Emerald Clutch. We've been hatching them here for 135 years."
Oh, very nice. I do a bit of farming back at home. We have geese and chickens and stuff like that. Not as big as eggs. Those are big. Those are big eggs.
Yes, well they have dragons in them, so yes, they're a little bigger.
Yeah, well, my chickens bite your finger off if you're not careful. But anyway.
Yes, we're expecting the return of the dragon comet soon, which means one of the eggs may hatch.
How soon?
Within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right. We'll just
Not imminent. I'm sure that's not relevant.
A very unrelated coincidence, I'm sure.
Well, he says it's something that's giving us hope. We're hoping that if the egg hatches, that could be a sign. It could be an omen that could could help us break
all
this
bad
seed.
stuff is behind you, right?
I hope so.
How frequently does that comet come around?
Every 15 years.
Okay, all right.
And this has been going on for 6 months or so, right? So I mean, it's not. I mean, that doesn't seem like too related.
I mean,
well, anyway, where's this Tholok?
All right, so he says we're keeping everybody in some of the more ancient chambers, and as you guys kind of go down, you see that some of this is like maybe like storage and aging for wine and goods that has been kind of converted, and people are kind of living in there. What becomes apparent is like there's still lots of people. Again, as you're kind of coming through, you keep descending kind of layers and layers, and there's branches that go off into different areas of these caves, and you keep kind of descending, and there's lots of these people down here, and just trying to kind of get by, and eventually he kind of brings you over, and Clanrock kind of asks around. He says, "Hey, you can kind of overhear." He's talking in Draconic to everybody, and everybody's kind of talking Draconic as you guys pass people. Those of you that speak Draconic, you can kind of hear like, who are these people? Like, what's happening? Is something changing? There's kind of, you're hearing these like whispers, like you're obviously being noticed as you're kind of coming down here. You're not really blending in, and there's kind of people, they clear out of the way as you kind of walk back, and they're saying, "Oh, why are they with Clanrock? What's happening?" And finally, he comes over and pulls this Dragonborn, and he comes over, and you're noticing now that all of these Dragonborn have like kind of a greenish scales to them, and where some Dragonborn that you've seen are kind of different ancestries and lineages of different colors. All of these guys are green. They're green dragons. And this man comes up, and he says, Clanrock says, "This is Tholok. He was one of the survivors of the first attack of the slimes." And he, in Draconic, says, these are knights, just like Omori, and they're here to help. They're here to help us. They just wanted to ask you some questions." And he says, they only speak common. Most of them speak common. And Tholok goes, "Oh, hi, I'm Tholok."
We heard you survived with the queen.
Yeah. Yeah, we well, I barely made it out. And the queen made it out too, and so we're both just like really happy that we made it out.
What happened that the two of you were able to escape?
Well, when I was riding with the First Legion with the king and queen that were coming in, it was kind of in this portion of the forest in a deep canyon, and all of us were looking around trying to find where this thing that the farmer had noticed that was killing his cattle. And we were walking along, and we could just kind of sense, we could smell, well, the smell. And
Does it smell down here?
It's
Yeah.
the smell.
You can still smell the smell, and it also smells like 1,000 people are in caves without much ventilation. So it's not
Great.
overall great. And he says, and then before we knew it, these slimes were extending these tentacles out and grabbing people off of their horses, and soldiers were trying to fight them, and they'd be devoured. And he his tone kind of changes, and he kind of looks down, and he looks pretty ashamed, and he says, "And I panicked, and I fled, and I ran away, and I left my king there, and I left my queen there, and I ran back as quick as I could all the way here. I didn't stop." And that's
So you didn't escape with the queen at the same time. She came back later on her own?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good that you
Do
got
know
away,
who
I guess.
Oh, pardon me. Do you know who the first person was to see the queen when she returned?
I imagine it'd be the gate wardens, the rest of the royal court that was here. They
And now
they might
she
be
just is alone in the castle?
yeah, to my understanding. She'll make an address every once in a while, but try and inspire us a little bit to stay hardy and stay the course. But
How's that go?
the addresses,
Yeah.
I
Could you recite one? His full length.
Yeah, we want to hear the inspiring words.
she'd say, "My
Give us a
people."
Can you do
People,
the voice?
Yeah, do the
People of
queen
Khall
voice.
T'Vott, here we are doing this here. No, I won't imitate my queen. That would be disrespectful.
That's good call.
So Diedre has a big eyebrow raised as they're talking about the queen and all this. It is not subtle.
He's Tholok says, I mean, you have to understand, Rasgarin was one of our great kings, and we all looked up to him, and he was such a profound leader. We've all been in mourning as long and as much as the queen has. And
were they married long?
Yes, a very long time.
They seemed happy.
Yeah, yes, they ruled as one, and they were inseparable.
Right. I don't mean any disrespect to you and your queen. And Biscuit will say this in Draconic, his best Draconic. He says, "Have you noticed anything, any behavior from her that's been unusual?"
Tholok and Clanrock kind of look at each other, and they kind of look back at each other too, and they kind of exchange a look at each other. And those of you that kind of understand Draconic, they say a word that kind of means like stranger danger, or like obscurity. Like it's kind of unclear how they're using it. And the Clanrock says, "Look, I understand. We are not an outgoing people. We have worked in isolation away from people like you by choice. But the way that we do things is not changed in 2 millennia for a reason."
Oh, understood. And no offense taken. And listen, I know it might seem weird to have a bunch of strange looking folk come in and be like, "Hey, we want to help," but and I don't want to accuse anybody. Like, look, when you go in a pigsty and there's a bunch of pigs and they're all covered in mud, and then one of them's squeaky clean. I mean, you want to assume just that's maybe they just didn't take a roll in the mud, but sometimes there might be something going on, that you want to find out what it is. So that's what we're here to do.
Just as soon as you're kind of finished that thought, you hear a horn blast up in the very top of the cave, and you kind of hear like some shouting, and you hear, "It's back! It's back! It's coming!" And everybody kind of starts to get panicked. We got to go back up to the top. It's coming back. We gotta mount the defense.
What's coming back?
The slime, the black slime. We have to go up and defend. Will you help us?
Just one?
Yeah, just one.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah, sure. We'll help.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys, you run back up, and some people are coming down, and some people are heading up, and there's just kind of general chaos and pandemonium. And you guys head up into the courtyard, and as you're looking through and kind of looking at all this, over the walls, you're looking at the wall of the interior courtyard, which is maybe about 15 or so feet tall, and the the outside wall is maybe like 30 feet tall. But as you're looking over the outside of the courtyard wall, you see almost like a wave on an ocean. You kind of see this black mass flow on the other side, and it comes up and it hits the top part of the wall, and some of it comes down like this, and then slowly it retracts all the way back. And putting together the size of this, when it's one slime, it is one slime, but it appears to be gigantic in size. And that's where we'll stop for tonight.
Well, that is incredibly ominous. I think there's probably some hotsy-totsy, like, stable boy, and she used the slime so that she could hanky-panky the stable. Listen, Jeff, I've written your whole season. I've
Is
got
that
it.
not just the plot of Huxtable's Choice?